G'day, I'm Gary from ECI Imports and you're watching ECITV. Enjoy. Okay, Shane and everyone out there, welcome to episode 10 of ECITV. It's, episode 10. It's awesome.
We made it to double digits.
Two figures. Yeah, cool as. So, how have you been, mate?
It's been a bit wet to do anything, so I've just been cooped up at home.
Now, are you going to possibly go for a ride tomorrow?
Yeah, so looking to head up to Bendigo for a bit of a ride. I checked the weather all week and it's the only dry place in the state.
Gotta love Victoria. Oh, that's a good idea. So you're going up with a couple of friends?
Yeah.
1.5 metre distance? And
oh, of course. So lucky I got long arms, I can still give them a hug.
Okay, so what have we got to chat about, mate?
So we've got quite a bit today. Over the week, I'd noticed on social media that Northern Beaches Council have started creating a new jump park. So what I might do is share the screen so you can have a quick look at that. Can you see that?
Yep. Oh, geez, that's impressive.
Yeah. I've been looking at ride spots all over the country just to check out what might be worth going to, and none of them have sparked my interest quite as much as this one. It looks like a nice downhill slope built in a valley, so it should be fairly well protected from the wind, you'd imagine. Not opened yet, but if you want to get out there and have a ride, just keep a close eye on Northern Beaches Council social media. I'm sure they'll let you know when it's available to ride, but that one might be a bit too far north for me to get to unless we're road tripping up to Queensland at some stage.
So whereabouts is Northern Beaches? Sorry for my ignorance.
Somewhere north on the beach.
Okay. So if you go to a south beach, you've taken a left turn at Albuquerque. Okay. I don't know. Northern Beaches, is that like it's Queensland?
No, it's New South Wales.
Northern New South Wales. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah. That looked very impressive. That was cool, lads.
Yeah. So yeah, that looks like it's coming close to completion. It's one of those tracks that you, fingers crossed, would hope that it gets plenty of maintenance after it gets built. We've been to plenty of tracks a year or two after they were built and it's unrideable. So hopefully another fun place to pop up and for people to ride. But I think it's about 2 hours north of Sydney.
Okay, so we'll pop the Facebook link up there so people can keep an eye on it.
And they can work out where it is for themselves. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Something that sparked our interest last week was USABMX's Bounce Back Nationals. That's now 2 weeks away. It kind of made me wonder how they're going to do it. And BMXNews got in and thankfully asked the questions. So it'll be interesting to look at the Bounce Back Nationals, see how it's run and see how potentially BMX races will be run in the future in this sort of COVID environment. So they're still going to have up to 8 riders on the gate. So I imagine screens in between each lanes. I'm not sure how they're going to stop people from breathing on each other, but especially across the finish line. They're going to limit spectators, so they're encouraging fewer people to turn up to the races. They're going to have a live stream, which I think USABMX do at most of their races already, but something to consider over here, I'd imagine. Contactless registration, which is something we already do. So when you turn up to a race meeting in Victoria, what we have to do in practice is go across the transponder loop and it picks up that you're there ready to race. And the staging area will be substantially increased and lengthened. So that's something we have here is quite tight, our staging area. So hopefully they look at that here as well and try to keep people separated. It's probably a good thing in most cases anyway. And as soon as riders finish across the finish line, they should leave their helmets on until they get back to the pits. So
okay, that makes sense.
A lot of common sense stuff there. The only thing that doesn't make much sense to me this early in the piece is up to 8 riders in the gate. I guess, but not a big race unless you do that, and we've got to get back into it sooner or later. So if you want to read more about the Bounce Back Nationals and the information BMXNews has found, we're going to provide a link in the description somewhere down there, or is it over there? Down there. Stick it where it fits. So when will we see more tracks opening up locally is a question I've been wondering. A couple here in Victoria had opened, and I remember, I think it was last week, you said that having spoken to Bruce Morris, they were going to have up to 100 riders on the track, which I don't think actually is the case. I don't think they've got any tracks open just yet, apart from specifically coaching sessions. So
I know there is a lot of tracks that have opened up for gates. You know, with Lilydale open up for gates with, you know, time slots. So you can actually book a time slot and limited riders and everything just for some practice. And I know there's a lot of other tracks that are doing the same now.
Yeah, I think Northern has done that as well. The thing is, because it's such a small number of people they can have on the track at any given time, you have to be a club member basically to get in. So that was my main concern. Are we too focused on club activities right now? I think it's ideal time to open up our tracks and get people bums on seats, basically, get people riding around the track and having fun, which is something that I'm concerned about, that we spend too much focus on racing and training and everything else, and we forget about the bigger picture.
Just enjoying yourself.
Yeah, so let me have a look at my notes here.
I know one of the things I had heard was that they were looking at limiting the younger riders to a single parent attending the event. So one of the things to limit the amount of spectators and everything like that, and this was just something I heard during the week, was they were going to try and encourage just a single parent, like a father or a mother, to actually turn up and look after the child at the event, just to try and reduce the amount of spectators.
Yeah, it's funny though. I'm not that interested in racing right now. Obviously, there's too many limitations to racing, but I'd like to get down to a track, and you know, you're allowed to kick a football with up to 10 people, and you're all touching the same football, and you're allowed to go on the bike paths and, you know, walk along the bike paths in a group of up to 10 people, and you're riding past cyclists where the bike path might only be 1 meter or 1.5 meters wide, and you're not actually adhering particularly to safe practices. So I don't understand why BMX tracks aren't open, but I'm sure I'm not the only one, because I was speaking to Glenn Main, a friend of ours, who's a profile team rider and travels with us quite a bit. He was questioning the Sunbury Club as to whether or not their track was open. There's no signage saying that it's closed. There's no fencing around the track. It's a big open public park. So he asked the question, you know, can we just ride? The club said, no, the track's closed. So he called the council. The council said, well, according to us, the track's closed, but it wasn't documented as being closed.
Yeah.
So they said, maybe take it to the COVID hotline. Called the COVID hotline. They said it's a public park. It's open. It's just got the same limitations as any other park. So there's a bit of confusion there. You know, do we open up these track spaces and hope that the public adhere to the current restrictions, you know, 10 on site or 10 on the track or whatever it might be. It'd just be nice to get those tracks open and get more people riding. Whether or not it's competition, I don't think really matters. Let's get people out there having some fun is my point. Not to, you know, name names or anything. It's just about having fun on the BMX track.
I think the big difference there is that if the track was officially opened, then the responsibility of the track is to make sure everyone adheres to social distancing and everything like that. Whereas being the fact that it's deemed to be a park, it's up to the individual then to actually make sure that's monitored. So the track having the stance that, no, the track's not open, or the club, sorry, having the stance that the track's not open is probably the correct way to go about it for them. But it's still an open park, and so if you want to go there and ride, you can, but the onus is then on you, not on the club. And I think that's where that grey area is. And look, at the end of the day, it is just simply common sense. We can, you know, you can debate grey areas and everything with the COVID-19, and God knows the news and every social media outlet has got those sort of arguments, but it all comes down to safety and common sense. And like Glenn said, if he wants to go down with his family, especially because the whole family rides, and even with a friend or two, as long as there's not more than 10 people and they do adhere to majority of social distancing, there's no reason they can't do it. Just I think the official stance of the club is that according to the club, the track is shut because they don't want the onus to fall back on them.
Yeah, and that's understandable. And to anyone watching, you know, as a bit of a disclaimer, we want to make sure that you confirm with your local authorities. Make sure that it's okay. Obviously, if the track's muddy, leave it alone. Let it dry out before you ride it. We don't want to get anyone into trouble. We just want to see people having fun on the bike.
Definitely. I mean, that's the whole idea. That's the whole reason we all get into BMX, is having fun.
And I noticed this week that Prophecy, who are well known for their carbon frames and forks, have released a photo of at least a drawing, I think it was, or a blueprint of some carbon handlebars. So it looks like the carbon handlebars are the new hot item after seeing Supercrosses last week. So it'll be interesting to watch this space here as to, you know, how that pans out.
I wonder who's going to end up bringing out a carbon stem to match up with them. That would be interesting.
That's the next level, isn't it?
Oh, who knows? You know, it's whoa.
What about carbon spokes?
Well, what are those ones that are like cord?
Yeah,
you know?
I know the ones you're talking about. I can't think.
It's almost like a carbon spoke. I mean, it's just a flexible cord with. I know Paul Knox, I think. Sent me the link to those. Incredible. We might put that up towards the end of the show or something. It's very, very interesting.
Or we could talk about it next week.
Possibly, yep.
What about carbon hubs? Someone's bound to come up with those sooner or later.
Alienation should bring out something like that.
So you got some new merchandise coming up soon too.
Got a couple of new. I'd love to show you the ECIBMX t-shirts, but I haven't got one on at the moment. Yeah, we've got some beanies, some bobblehead beanies coming out shortly, and also some hoodies, just because of the climate that we exist in down here in Victoria, and I'm sure winter's hitting all around Australia, so we thought we'd jump the gun and grab some beanies and some hoodies. Yeah, so they should be available within the next few weeks. And we've also got some more small sizes of the ECIBMX tees, because we have noticed that there's a lot of young kids, especially as a prize for the Show Us Your Bike, and also there's a lot of people wanting the smaller sizes. So we will be going down to youth large, I believe, now.
Oh, very good. So this week is a slow news week as far as Ultra was concerned, but I did put up a sizing chart that I created years ago now, must be almost 10 years ago, that's been hiding away on the website, and I thought I'd sort of bring that to light because I'm sure people are tweaking with their bikes, getting ready to ride and race again. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the link on the description. So go to bmxultra.com, and it's in the latest news. So
now you give the inch rollout of the wheel as well.
Oh, so that's the gear chart. So the sizing chart.
Oh, the sizing chart. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it tells you how to what your crank length would be based on your inner seam.
Oh.
And based on your height, what size handlebars, what size frame, what size stem. So it's quite involved. And it's pretty easy to use. We've just got a couple of sliders. You just grab the little button on the slider and go up and down and set your height, and it'll give you all of the measurements. So that's just something I did for the fun of it one rainy day many years ago, and it's just been hiding away on Ultra, and quite a few people have told me they use it and they find it quite accurate. So I just thought give that a bit of a focus this week. But we did also add rollout. So you've got the option of rollout or gear inches on the gear chart. So that's only online gear chart at the moment. It hasn't been rolled out to the app. So if anyone has any ideas that they'd like to see with those being updated, just let me know, and I'll see if I can do those for you.
You have been a busy man.
Well, it's because I haven't been busy that I thought I'd better get busy. And we're on to Show Us Your Bike.
Yeah.
Been looking forward to this. It's been 2 weeks already.
Yeah, that's it. It's amazing, isn't it? Amazing. So you're going to share the screen on this one?
Oh, that's a nice looking bike. So this bike belongs to Paul Brincat, who I know fairly well from racing. He races in the 40 to 49 men's class. Sometimes he races along the side of the track rather than on the track with the rest of us, but that happens even to the best of us. So Paul says, here's a pic of my 2017 Redline Flight Carbon. It has Onyx hubs, Alienation TCS rims, what else? G-Spec hydraulic disc brake, DXR cranks, and a profile stem. I love the smooth, stiff feel, and everyone knows that red is faster, which is why it's not completely red, because you don't want to go too fast. He's from the Sunbury BMX Club.
Yeah, there was another picture with his helmet involved in it, which I sort of liked because it looked very colour coordinated from the front of the bike, I believe.
Well, there's another one.
Oh, no, there's a good side one. What size disc? What size chain ring is that from one? That looks massive. Looks like a 48 or something, which probably isn't massive these days.
Yeah, I'd say he's running 47.17 by the looks of that, but it's hard to tell. Oh, yeah.
There's the shot. There's the money shot.
The money shot.
Yeah, looks awesome.
Yeah, very nice looking bike. And I like the background, the blue sky and the crisp look of the, what must be the northern track back there. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it's a good shot. That's yeah, definitely the money shot, that one.
You can tell it's a new one. There's not a scratch on it.
Nice Alienation rims.
Yeah.
Go on the mischief front and rear by the looks of things.
Yeah, to save extra weight.
Yeah, incredible.
Very nicely composed photos. Thanks very much, Paul.
Great job, Paul.
Let's see, who have we got next? You can do this one, Rob Slatter.
Rob Slatter. Yeah, lovely S squared. So Rob writes, hi Gary and Shane. Rob Slatter here, and this is my bike for your segment. Again, Sunbury BMX Club. Look, they're getting right behind us there. That's fantastic to see.
That's because they can't ride their track.
Oh, that's right, because it's closed. Why this frame and setup? I found the frame to be one of the stiffest on the market and love the geometry and feel. The Answer products are the best on the market and reliable. Now, if anyone knows Rob, he is a big guy, so yeah, stiffness in the frame is very important for him because he puts a heck of a lot of power through. So here's another one who names his bike by the looks of things. He says, this is my 2020 bike, the Silver Bullet. So actual fact, I think one of the other episodes, probably 4 episodes ago, when one of Rob's proteges had his bike on, he also named it. So a 2020 Pro Triple XL frame, 22-inch top tube, roaring color, Answer carbon fork, seat post brake lever and headset, Answer V-brake, stem, handlebars, chain, seat clamp and pedals. The new Answer knurly grips, Answer Pinnacle Pro wheel set with whole shot hubs, Answer carved tyres front and rear, and a Renan chain ring with Shimano DX crankset. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Factory Answer BMX S Squared, Renan, MJT Designs, Elite Cycle Imports, woohoo, RTS BMX Coaching, and a huge shout out to John and Blake Sawyer and the Answer team for their support, and of course moi at ECI for all the other goodies. So yeah, he's a fantastic person to have on board, and we've looked after through Answer. We've looked after Rob for a long time, and yeah, he just loves being out there, loves racing, loves winning, and looks after a lot of young kids and does some fantastic coaching. So great rig there, Rob.
I'm a bit disappointed with that photo. All he had to do was make the pedal horizontal.
You're a perfectionist.
All right, thanks very much for that one, Rob. And next we have Shane Hogan. I'll let you do this one as well.
I have to apologise for this because this one was an entry from a few weeks ago and I totally missed it. So it's Oliver's bike. Shane Hogan is the dad, and he's over in WA. And like I said, I totally apologise because this is a lovely looking rig and it would have been fantastic to have it on the show previously, but my mistake. So here are the details of the bike build. Answer carbon bars, Answer strength for 91 forks, the Sam Willoughby signature forks. Dead fast racing low profile carbon rims. Tioga faster tyres, box dam 11 headset, box cranks, Shimano XT disc brake set. We've got a good couple of disc brake setups this week, which is fantastic to see. 11 ISO disc, Onyx Ultra disc hub and Helix front hub, box tensioners, and Answer pivotal seat. So there's a lot of Answer stuff there between the last two entries, but yeah, lovely color coordinated bike, and again, my apologies for not putting it up earlier. And fantastic looking rig there.
It is interesting that we're starting to see a lot more disc brake come through now.
Yeah, well, 50% this week at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is good. It's it is very, very popular.
Alrighty, so last week we had Aaron Wheatland send photos of his bike. We showed some video of this build and of the pump track, which you see there in the background as well. Aaron was the only person to send in photos last week, so we've held them off to this week. And my gosh, he's done a good job of these photos. That bike looks amazing with that background.
He's very, very professional the way he set it up.
Yeah.
Even you know, the out of focus background to highlight the bike, it looks brilliant.
Yeah. So this is a Stats Bloodline XXL, the Silver Arrow color scheme. It's got Ciari components. He's got the Tempo carbon rims, which I believe is an Aussie company. It's got Onyx hubs, E13 cranks with Cane Creek Hellbender bottom bracket. So that's a bit of a mountain bike.
The E13 especially, yeah.
Yeah. HT pedals. He's got Pro Max brakes and Tioga Powerblock tires. Can't go wrong with those. What other photos have we got here? Yeah, so he's done a good job. Every single photo, that bike looks
brilliant. Oh yeah, fantastic. And look, such a credit, that pump track. That's I know we covered it well last week, but look, it'd be awesome to be able to see if we could get up there soon to Mildura and do a bit of a coverage of the actual pump track. I'd love to get up there and have a watch you have a ride and talk to Aaron about his pump track.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
They do have an open. It's a bit of a hike, but we've travelled further.
Oh, definitely. It's amazing how far we'll go for our viewers.
Well, we did it for us before the viewers.
That's it.
So that's it. That's our 4 bikes. I find it very difficult to pick a winner here, but I'm going to have to say Aaron Wheatland. That bike is amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I agree. And look, it's not just the bike; it's the whole. It's the Marbo. It's
Marbo. What's the Marbo?
Oh, you work it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's the vibe. It's the Marbo. It's okay. It's a TV. It's a movie.
Oh, okay. It's just occurred to me that he's got directional arrows on the berm in the background on this particular photo we're looking at. And looks like he couldn't make up his mind. So I think he does a rock walk as he goes along.
Thank you for that. So, yeah, we'll send up a T-shirt and some stickers and bits and pieces for Aaron in appreciation for not just sending his entry in, but also the information he gave us for the pump track and the cool video that he supplied last week on his actual bike build. So a little bit of promo gear coming your way, Aaron.
Thanks very much, Aaron, and everybody else who's submitted their bikes. Make sure if you want to get your bike into the Show Us Your Bike segment next week, you send those photos in through the week and a description and information on when they're from, and return email address, return postal address in case they win a T-shirt, and T-shirt size.
That's correct. Okay, the bias opinion.
Oh yeah, so I actually jumped online with Michael on Thursday night, and we chatted for, I don't know, 45 minutes, and couldn't think of a theme to sort of stick to. So we thought we'll give ourselves 24 hours and come back and have another crack. And so I thought, well, New Zealand's been out or reduced their COVID restrictions for a bit longer than what we have. And I've noticed quite a few videos of him riding tracks. So I thought I'd ask him all about, how things are freeing up, what access to tracks is like. So this is pretty much just about that. So do you want to hit the play?
So we don't need to listen to the interview now because you just covered it all.
I know you haven't watched it. You were too busy fishing. Thanks, Michael, for joining us. We just want to talk today about coming out of COVID. You guys are a couple of weeks ahead of us, I think. Just wondering what it's like at the moment as far as access to BMX tracks.
Yep, so we're into level 2, as we call it in New Zealand, which BMX tracks are now open and we're able to ride them, which is very exciting for us die-hard fans who had 2 months off the bike. So all BMX tracks in Auckland are open, and it's basically back to normal. It's off season in New Zealand anyway, so we wouldn't have any races or club nights regardless, but you can go ride the track as you want, and I think groups up to 10 at one time, so it's been really good to get back on track.
Is that up to 10 on site, or is that on the track at any given time?
I couldn't actually tell you, to be honest.
You don't have hordes of people waiting to ride the track at any given time?
No, where I live in Auckland, there's 5 tracks within an hour, so everyone sort of sticks to their own track or club, and I've only ever been there with 2 or 3 other people at one time. So
so when the tracks did open up, were you just going there to blow off the rust, or are you actually in full training mode at the moment?
I am in training mode. I haven't done any gates yet, and that's sort of low on my priority. It's sort of just working on my track efforts and track skills at the moment. I've actually never been one to structure my track sessions too much, like my sprint sessions, my gym sessions, and all my other sessions are sort of structured, where my BMX track sessions are a bit more relaxed, and I do efforts here and there, but it's just having fun and doing skills and stuff. So
it's one of the things over here. It seems like the clubs and the councils haven't really talked about what BMX is and how smart BMX races are. So it's almost like the clubs are like, oh, we can't run club events, so we shouldn't open our track. And the councils are like, well, they're kids riding around, we can't keep them apart, so we keep the tracks closed. And it's when I've seen the videos of you riding around, it's like, well, you seem to have free access to the track. And I just wanting to understand why it's so different there than it is here. It might be the fact that we're only 2 weeks behind and we're still at stage 3, which is a higher stage than what it sounds like you guys are at.
Yeah.
Some tracks are open for up to 10 people on the track at a time. Some tracks are open to 10 people on site, and then some tracks are completely closed still. So I'm kind of left scratching my head. I think I'd rather live in New Zealand right now. It's crazy.
We went through a similar thing in level 3. I think by the council's guidelines, BMX tracks could have been open. Mountain bike forests were open, skate parks were open, parks were open, and it was BMX New Zealand who sort of took it upon themselves to say, no, we'll wait till level 2. So I guess we're in the same stage as you.
Okay.
But yeah, I've looked at it as though, like, we don't touch anything in common with the other BMX riders. We wear gloves, we touch our handlebars, nothing else really. As long as we're not doing gates, pushing the button, I guess it should be fine to ride.
Yeah, I've seen you can kick a football with up to 10 mates, or up to 10 people.
Play tennis and stuff.
Yeah, and you're handling the same ball, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. I just think someone doesn't understand what BMX is all about. We don't all have to sit on the starting gate and do gates. We could just ride around and have some fun, which is generally when I go to the track, it's for fun. Like you, there's no structured training there. It's for me, it's to hang out with mates and enjoy the ride. which it looks like you're a little bit more serious than I am about it.
I think that's really important to have that aspect. And I said in the Big Chair interview that I think that's something that I think it's dying off. Like, a lot of kids and developing teenagers go to the track and do their 12 gates or 6 half laps and leave. I don't see when they're going to develop their skills and have that fun. I just remember as a kid, like, I used to, whether it was club night or Friday night gates, we used to just ride for hours with our mates, trying new jumps and manuals and stupid things like that. And I think that's when I've learned to be creative and sort of enjoy my bike, and that's what I've been doing the last week.
Have fun riding the track this weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
I will. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, so thanks very much for Michael again on his very candid opinions. We value them. Always look forward to talking to him every couple of weeks. So what we will do is ask our audience if there's anything you want to ask Michael. Just email us at ECITV@bmxultra.com, or just go through the website at ecitv.com.au.
Yep.
And we'll ask Michael all the hot topics and questions that you might have. So you have some breaking news. You've got like breaking news music.
Some breaking news, like this is hot off the press. We just had a email while we're in the middle of recording from John Sawyer over at Answer BMX Racing in America. Obviously, we do cover a lot of Answer products, as we did in the Show Us Your Bike today. But what he's done is he's jumped on board and said he's happy to donate a number plate to the winner of each week. So at this stage, Aaron Wheatley will be Aaron. What's his surname?
Wheatland. Just Wheaty.
Yeah. Aaron Wheaty will be receiving a Answer number plate also as part of the package for his win. So what we might do is name it as the Answer BMX Show Us Your Bike moving forward. And yeah, thank you very much for John Sawyer for coming on board.
That's awesome. Thanks, John.
Yeah, awesome. That is so good. Well,
you know what that means? You know what that means, though, don't you, Gary?
I got no idea.
So that means we also have to ask people's colour preference and size.
We can't get them to get a return address or a T-shirt size, let alone what's colour and what size number plate you want. We're going to have to set up on our website like a pro forma questionnaire or something. So once they enter the bike, they've got to put these details in. But anyway, that's homework for us.
Hey, you know what?
No, I don't.
So I contacted Ringmaster for some ECITV stickers this week, and they're keen to do it. I just have to send them designs, and they'll print them out for us. But now we've got number plates. Maybe we need to get the template and have an ECITV number plate made, or a sticker made for the number plates. Because
that would be a fairly unique plate for anyone to have around Australia to show that they've supported the show and they walked out a winner.
Also, it means we need to work out what panel colour we're going to need to get from the contestants.
There's too many things. I'm tired from fishing last night. So I can't think about these things. Okay, anyway, we're just babbling on. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this week's show. And again, thank you, John Sawyer from Answer BMX Racing Products and S Squared for coming on board. And yeah, we look forward to episode number 11 next week.
Awesome. Nice to see you again, Gary, and hopefully get out to do a bit more fishing.
Oh, of course. And keep those entries coming in for the Answer S Squared Show Us Your Bike.
See you guys.
Cheers,
actually, we haven't asked people to subscribe. We did the same thing last week. Don't forget to subscribe to ECI Imports on YouTube or ECITV BMX on Facebook and Instagram.
Fantastic. Okay, see you, everyone.
See you guys.
Okay, breaking news. Breaking news. We just got confirmation. We're still recording, aren't we? Yep.
We're still recording.
Breaking news. Oh, you still got to go to the Michael Byers thing. You're going to bring that back? Blah, 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 blah. After too many coffees this morning.
Man, I can't remember exactly how to do this, but we'll get there.
Yeah, mate, you're an IT guy. You'll work it
out. I'm sure I pressed that the second time.
Everyone just be patient out there. Shane's just having a moment.
I'm a newbie. Share screen. Gosh. Take 3. Am I still sharing my screen?
No, I can just see you, but you got a little devil on your shoulder, it looks like.
I've given the angel a bit of a rest today. Why can't I? Oh, there we go. Stop sharing. There we go.
I can see you now.
Lucky you.
My dreams have come true.
Once a week's just not enough.
Once a week's ample at my age.
All right. Sorry, I should get on with it. Cat wants to get on the action. Sit down. Shut up and sit down. Oh, Jesus.
Cover up my hair. Take my old man eyes off. Where are you? We're probably good.
Just checking.
I was going to say, you'll have to jump into the general discussion mainly because it's all your stuff.
It's all about me.
It is. It's just like life in general. It's all about you. I got to find a Commodore 64 so I can put this in.
Paul would have one.
He probably would too, actually.
I got about 3 or 4 of them.
He probably would. He's probably got this game. The BMX Stimulator.
Stimulator? Do you put it in your pocket when you're racing?
Actual Commodore 64 screenshots is on the cover. Whoa. Great fun, especially as a 2-player game. I'd say it'll go platinum.
If you had that from original, did you have California games as well, which had the BMX?
Yeah, had Californian games.
So did you used to fight Aaron to play it? Actually, it would have been before Aaron's time.
No, just. Oh, probably was a little bit. So if anyone's got a Commodore 64 out there that would like a cool BMX game, I'd love to be able to put this on and give it a run. So
we can get someone to review it for you.
Woo! Because it's going to go platinum. Just thought I'd let you know it's going to go platinum.
What happened to your tanning filter? You're not looking as tanned as you have in the past few days.
I've been living like a vampire. I've been out at night fishing. You don't get a lot of tan out in at midnight out in the middle of Western Port Bay. Well, I do get a mud bath.
A mud bath?
Well, it's not very clean water up there.
Oh, right.
Fish on the mud flaps. Yeah, that's darker if I move back.
Oh, yeah.
But then you see 3 of my chins.
Is it hiding the other 4?
Yeah. All right, I'm ready to go.